Arushi Mishra. I am an official of Indian Forest Service. I cleared the examination in 2018, the Indian Forest Service exam of 2018, and the result came in 2019. And currently I am undergoing training in Indira Gandhi National Forest Academy, Dehradun. Talking about my background, I come from a place in Uttar Pradesh, that is Raebareli, and then I completed my graduation from IIT Roorkee. Thereafter, it had been a continuous phase of struggle and preparation. First, I would say preparation and then struggle, because preparation is the one thing that brings all the struggles. So I started preparing, and it took me very long to realize that I was preparing wrong and what I was doing, and then I started recorrecting it. And hence, that's why given this opportunity, I would like to share some of my ideas where I can help you in clearing the examination. So talking about geology. Geology is one optional that is taken by many students or candidates preparing for the examination, because it is an optional that looks very small. I would say that's a misconception about it, because it is actually very small, but it has much to learn, and it is very definite. It is very definite, it is much to learn, and the moment you write even O2 ki jagah O3 wrong, and you're doomed. So that's the kind of precision you require in geology. However, it is something that is doable also in a limited period of time. So how to do about it? We'll get it now. See, if you have like 2 or 3 months in your hand, or probably 6 months in your hand, you can prepare in a better way, in a different way, or multiple things or sources can be referred. But if you have a very less time, considering we'll be discussing that you are starting from point 0 and you have only 1 month. How to go about it in 1 month so that we score the best we can. See, considering that we have a month, so we have only 4 weeks. As I have said earlier in some of the videos as well, that you do not consider the last week. So you have 3 weeks left. Last week is all left for revision, because that is the week where you revise things and something or other might happen that you need to attend to. So that is an emergency week, or that's a week for enhancing the marks. So we'll discuss what to do in 3 weeks. So first is that we'll refer what are the sources we need to do. So sources are many in the market. People will be suggesting you K.M. Bangar, Mohapatra and Banerjee. These are the 3 books that are very relevant and that are very good as well. What I would suggest is go with for 2 things, because we have less time. Go with K.M. Bangar and go with Prajesh Jaina Sir's notes that are there in the market. They are present in Xerox form, or they are present in the internet as well. You can download it and get it printed for you. These are very to the point notes and very to the point a book as well. So how to prepare that. First thing I need to tell you, in the first week what you need to do is in the first 4 to 5 days. Again I would say in the first 4 to 5 days you need to read the book cover to cover, the K.M. Bangar book. Because there are many suggestions available that you read by the syllabus and then see the question paper and then do this and that. I did the same thing. I read syllabus wise K.M. Bangar, and then I referred to other sources, and then I saw the question paper and everything. And ultimately by the end of it I realized that I have read the whole book. I have marked the whole book. So what I would suggest is read the whole book in the first go, because it will be helpful for you in building the flow of the book as well, in the content as well. So read the book cover to cover, and when you read this book in first 5 days, there will be majority of the things you'll not be able to get it. You'll be able to you'll be able to learn the first chapter, you'll be able to grasp the last chapter. In the mid, the chapters get increasingly tough. It gets like this sine curve. It increases in toughness and then it decreases. So just have patience, just read. Just get an idea that there is something. You're not able to get what kind of rocks are there, what kind of layers are there, what kind of metamorphism is going on, what kind of silica is there. Leave it. Just give it a read, so that at least you know what is there. So in first 5 days, do this cover to cover K.M. Bangar. And K.M. Bangar is a book that itself is in a short notes form. So it is very difficult as well. And if you have like geology or geophysics as your background, then it will be easier for you. Otherwise it is difficult. So you just give it a read. Then what you do is, do not get disheartened. I am just saying, do not get disheartened if you don't understand a word. I got it after like 3 or 4 readings. I was not able to get anything out of it, ki what is actually written. Then second thing, that 2 or 3 days will be left in the week. What you do is read Prajesh Jaina sir's notes. Just go through the notes like the way I said, go through the K.M. Bangar, go through the notes. Then this week is done. At least you have some idea and you have some confidence that I have read. Because if I say to you that read K.M. Bangar and Prajesh Jaina sir's note in a very diligent manner and understanding everything, you'll end up reading nothing after 2 or 3 days. You'll like, it cannot happen, I cannot do it. You'll tell your parents that this is an examination that I cannot do. I need another year to prepare for this examination. Why not try this time? So just a hack that you do it in a very fast way so that you have a confidence. Then come to the second week. What you do in the second week, take the question paper printed and see the topics that, okay, are the topics that you have read in this book or Prajesh Jaina sir's notes or not. If you can recognize, even faintly recognize the topic that this was there, okay, mark a stick, and that there will be many topics, many topics that are not there. Just mark, circle, and what I said is just Google it, YouTube it, see any content about it. When you see any content about, Google it, like Google and other tabs are there, news, information, diagram, map, any information, videos, photos, just search it, just write it and just copy paste it in your Word file. That is name a heading like Geology, because there are many things that you will not be knowing. So you make that. So with this you will get a very fair idea that there are many things that I am supposed to do. This I have copy pasted it, and there are many things that I know that it is there, but I have no idea about it because you have just read once. Now what I would suggest is, in the first day you do the syllabus thing, the first day of the second week. Then next what you can do is that you take the K.M. Bangar book again, and now when you read the K.M. Bangar book, try making some sense out of it. When I say making some sense out of it, it will take a lot of time. It will take around 6 to 7 days. It will take this whole second week away from you, where when you'll not be able to understand things, I would suggest go and search. And when you go and search, for example, there is one kind of triangle diagram that is there, metamorphism or something happens. Just an example, it is in 6th or 7th chapter. Then you get no idea what's happening. And this is with everything, stratigraphy, sedimentary rocks, and everything has this issue only. You'll not be able to visualize things. You'll try to Google it, but then it is always better to refer to YouTube, because they will explain you. And in YouTube also it is very difficult to find quality videos. You'll find videos that have all the school background kind of videos, or having all magenta, purple background, and people are explaining in a very bad way. But that's probably the only video you have. So rather than rejecting the idea that I cannot see this, I cannot watch it, I cannot learn from it, just try watching it 3 to 4 times. At least it is much better than what you are able to comprehend on your own. If you have time, if you might have done coaching, then it is a very different idea. But if you are on your own, just do not deny the idea that somebody is teaching. Learn it. So for every topic there are videos. However bad they are, there are videos. There are many videos that are very good, they are very long and they are very comprehensive, but you need not to do on that level as well. You just see, okay, this is only what I can remember, this is only what I can understand. So in this second week, complete doing this part with respect to K.M. Bangar's book. It will be very difficult, it will be very tedious, trust me. After doing that also, you will have some idea that, okay, now I understand things, but I don't remember anything, and understand also very faintly. So do not get disheartened, we have the third week as well. So in the third week now, when you come, what my suggestion would be, that this book K.M. Bangar is very nicely indexed. What you do is, now you take the book and you take 2 days out, or 1 day. One day is also very good. I did it in 1 day. You just make an index of every chapter. For example, there is metamorphism. So metamorphism is a chapter. Metamorphism has many subparts. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and second part also has many subparts, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. Then 2.3 also has many parts like 2.3.1, 2.3.2. So what you do is, like, you make the proper index. every chapter will take around 1 A4 for indexing. So when you index the chapter, when you write only heading, subheading, so you will have a structure of the book. You will have the structure of the answers in your mind. This structure is very relevant. This indexing of every chapter and making it is very relevant, because now you will have a very fair idea that what you have in your hand and what you have read. This is the time when you get those 25 years of question paper printed and with you. After doing this third week, first day is spent on doing this. Then take the 25 years question paper and sit. Now you will be able to recognize that, okay, this is a question that is mentioned in KM Bangal, I can write. This is a question that was not mentioned in the book, not mentioned in the notes, but it was something that was mentioned in syllabus, and I googled it and copy pasted it. So okay, I have a content for it. Then there will be thousands of questions that you have no clue about it, and it was not mentioned even. So in that situation, what will you do? Everything you will Google, you will understand, and you will do the copy pasting in your Word file. By this week's end, you will have a very fair idea of what you have and what you can do. Now you have everything that you need to study. So this fourth weeks come. So by this time, you have a very good idea that now you have everything covered. You have the syllabus covered, you have the basic book covered, you have the basic notes covered, and you have the basic all the question papers covered. But trust me, you will not be able to have this confidence that you will be able to write even a paragraph about it. And this is the fourth week. You are supremely tense that you are not able to write anything. You have some idea, but you will not be able to write a paragraph. But the effort that you have put in will now give you a benefit. What you will do is, you'll divide this fourth week into 3 parts. 3 parts as in 2, 2, 2 plus 1. Okay. When I say what to do with this is, first 3 days, 2 plus 2 plus 2, 2 plus 2 plus 3. This is the week that you have, 7 days. So in 7 days, take the first 3 days in the starting, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. In those weeks, make it a point that whatever you have, you need to revise. Whatever you have till now done, you need to revise. However flimsy it might be, the revision might be, revise. Then do for the next 2 days, whatever you have revised now, revise it again. Then the next 2 days come. Whatever you have done till now, revise it again. So what happens, geology is very tough, but it is all about revision. Now you have revised it enough times so that at least what you have read, you are able to reproduce. However small it might be 2 or 3 paragraphs only you are able to write, and you are not able to even think that you will be able to write 200 words about it. But at least what you have written and what you have worked hard, you are able to reproduce it. Then how to improve that you are able to write all the 200 words in an answer? For that, I would say the week that is given in the mains examination after GS and between the GS and optional, that week is utilized in thinking more about it. Now that you have learned how to revise in 2 days, you have mastered that art in the last week. What you need to do in that midweek is to first in 2 or 3 days revise, and then Google every topic, Google every point, Google every topic, and just see the news about it, just see anything relevant to your area. With your area, I would say that there might be something that is, if you are from Tamil Nadu, if you are from UP, if you are from Rajasthan, if you are from West Bengal, there are many things. For example, sedimentary rocks. You can actually search sedimentary rocks of Tamil Nadu, sedimentary rocks in Rajasthan. So you will get an example. You see, okay, this example is there, this is a map, there is something, and this is your native place, native example, native language. You're able to remember that example for long, because in general, all India example written in English, it is very difficult to remember at this point of stage. So you learn that example, you get this idea, get the feel of it, so that you're able to complete those 200 words. That's my point. And when you Google it, like I said, Google news also, diagram also, map also, photo also, video also, something you'll get, something very good you'll get. So these are basic way how to prepare for geology. Then we talk about the other aspects. The first is how to write the answers of geology and when to write the answers of geology. See, how to write the answers, I would say it is nothing different from CSE if you might have attempted it. There are few things that are different, that it is a very scientific paper. So if it is right, it is right. If it is wrong, it is wrong. You can score very well and you can actually score very low. There is no, I know a person who has scored more than 170 in geology in the first attempt, and in the next attempt in the paper 2, and in the next attempt the person scored less than 30. So how does it happen? Because it is very finite. If you have revised it like 1000 times, you'll be able to reproduce it as it is and you'll be getting marks. But if you don't know, you cannot write. So what my suggestion is, after such thorough revision, in the third or fourth week, I would suggest for geology, fourth week when you're there, now just start writing answers, one answer a day or 2 answers a day. Just start writing for 10 to 15 minutes a day. If you have a decent writing practice earlier, if you do not have, then you need to practice more for like 1 hour a day. But if you have a decent writing practice, you can write 1 or 2 answers a day for 10-15 minutes, so that you get an idea how to write. At the same time, if you have joined any test series, what you can do is attempt 2 papers. That is paper 1 and paper 2, 1 set only of geology. When I say only 1 set, it is because of the reason, because you have less time. If you have more time, attempt 7-8 papers. It will any which ways be going to be beneficial for you only. So what I say is that you write only 2 papers. And how to write the answers? You write the answers in a structured format, what is being asked. Then you cover it up with a lot of diagrams and maps. And for example, if you want to show the rocks, just make a map. If you want to show the layering or fossilization and anything, just make a diagram as it is. If you want to show the evolution of horse, then you will find in Prajesh Jina sir's book notes, there is a timeline he made, and with the evolution of horse. You might not be able to be very good with drawing so that you're able to make a horse and evolution of horse in a very nice way. At least you know that Mesozoic, Cenozoic, those eras. Just make those layers at least and make something. Something will be like small, then some horse-like feature will be appearing, something will be appearing. Just a very vague idea, just make it, just fill the space and just give an examiner an idea that you know but you have a bad drawing, rather than showing that you don't know actually. So just this tip. And also I would talk about the pre-conclusion and conclusion. Pre-conclusion is something that I said can be a very good differentiator when you write. And this is when I said that search your local examples. This is where the place where you fit in your local example. Okay, this is also found here. And for the conclusion, I would say write something more scientific as a conclusion. More scientific means the science and technology B2 365 means 365. Just tier those indexes. You'll have an index that has all these things, and tier the index of the government schemes. Okay, so now you have a very good handbook for like 4-5 pages for writing the conclusion. What you need to write in the conclusion is write some idea that is there in the technological field combined with a scheme of government, probably the scheme of Department of Science and Technology, Department of Biotechnology and all. So you'll get a Ministry of Environment or this geophysics and geology. This kind of things now you can combine and you can write the conclusion. So it will make your answer look better and it will stand out from the people who are taking it very lightly. So this is something that you can do and score good marks. And lastly, for the time management of the paper. See, in the paper you have 200 marks and you have to attempt 5 questions. In the 5 questions, first question and 5th question are compulsory, and those are 5 questions each. And other 3 you need to have a selection of it. So what I would suggest doing is you divide the question, the 5 questions, you give all the 5 questions half hour. When you give all the 5 questions half hour, it is 2.5 hours. What you are left with, another half hour that you think that, oh my god, this half hour is wasted. But this actually is not a wasted half hour, because you do not have 15 minutes. First 5 to 7 minutes will be spent in all this selection of questions and thinking, okay, I'll be able to write this or that or something. It will take 5 to 7 minutes. Then 2 to 5 minutes will be wasted by your invigilator asking you to fill your roll numbers and what not, the question answer booklet or anything. This will be the time that is wasted. And third, time will be wasted because accidentally something might happen. A water bottle might fall, or invigilators might start talking, or they might ask you to, okay, see that if the question paper is being distributed in front of you or not, and this and that, many things can happen. So for first 10 to 15 minutes are not actually yours, so do not think about it. So it is not that you're sparing those half an hour and you're wasting it. You're actually sparing just 20 minutes, and you'll realize how important those minutes are. What I would say, that when you attempt a paper, start with the fifth question, because you do not want to highlight your bad handwriting skills or your bad presenting skills from the first question. Do not give that impression to the invigilator. So that is, you attempt the fifth question. In the fifth question, you have given half an hour to the fifth question only, because every question is given half an hour. But initially 10-12 minutes are wasted in this, all other things of life. So you'll be able to attempt only 3 to 4 questions. I think more than 3 will be very difficult to attempt. So you'll be able to attempt only 3 questions. Now your 2 questions are left, 4 and 5th. Just mark a circle or mark somewhere and leave, because next half hour is for the other question. It might be question number 1, it might be question number 2, it might be any question of your choice. Now your brain has started working. Now you're getting very good at it. So what I would say is, attempt all the sets of questions. Like if the question number 2 set is you are doing, attempt that question. If you are not able to attempt any question in that given time, for example, there is 110 marker of question number 2 that is left in a given time, just mark it and leave, so that you do not get this pressure of managing time, calculating time, giving more time to a particular question, and then thinking about how should I limit the time for the other question so that I am able to complete the paper. This all type of calculations you can be relaxed about. So you do like this. So by the end of 2.5 hours, you'll be like, I have attempted all the 5 questions that are required, but there are like 4 to 5 questions left. Probably every question you might be able to leave, you will be leaving 1 question of question number 1, you might be leaving 2 questions of question number 5, and 1 or 2 in the other 3 questions. So you're certainly left with questions that you are supposed to answer. Now in the last half hour, answer all those questions, because now you have very less pressure. You realize that you do not have pressure, you can actually contribute to the quality of the answers as well. And given a time, you have the time, if you are spared with 5 minutes or 2 minutes, you can actually improve the content of your answer by making some drawings, some diagrams or anything. And for drawings and diagrams, I would suggest that use pen or pencil. Color pencil if you have a very good writing skill and if you have a lot of time, but that I don't think people will have. So these are probably the things that you need to work upon, and there are many things that can be done to improve. Certainly this is not it, that okay, this is the only thing we need to do. People who score very well tend to prepare for a long and then they do a lot of things, but this is something that you can do in just 1 month and then also can score very good. So I think that this is something that you can do, and just in case you have more queries or many more doubts, you can drop in comment or anything so that we are able to help you better. Thank you.